What's up, guys? It's Coop Dizzle here, and welcome to episode 25 on the StreamCraft server. We've been working on building the ultimate base, the base with everything. So I thought for episode 25 we could do something special and basically go back and look at all of the cool projects we've worked on together in the last few months. So we're doing a base tour. Stay tuned! What's up, guys? It's Coop Dizzle here, and welcome back for episode 25 of StreamCraft. Thank you for hanging out with me today. I hope you're having a good day, and we have got a cool episode planned. We have some new subscribers to the channel, so welcome, guys, and thanks for joining us. Oh man, does it have to rain right now? But it is episode 25, and I thought since we are a quarter of the way to 100 now, it might be a good excuse to do something a little bit special. And so what we're going to be doing today, we've done so much work here at the base that I thought it would be a really good opportunity to kind of do basically a base tour and look at all the different things that we've done today. So it's going to be cool, it's going to be a little bit fast paced, and yeah, so let's go ahead and get started. So really quick before we start the official tour, I just wanted to show you guys some stuff that's been going on in between episodes here. I feel like I really need to turn down my animal sounds. Those chickens are going kind of crazy, and I don't even have them turned up that high, but there we go, that's a lot better. Alright, so in between episodes here, I have been continuing to work on our dark forest, the custom biome that we're going to talk about more in just a second, but I think I've planted some trees over here, so let me see, where'd you go? There you go. Yeah, that's quite a bit better. So if you remember how that looked, there we go. A little bit better, not as much as I thought. Let's see, maybe it looks like this will probably catch most of the change. Yeah, so there's still some more work to be done over there, but I planted over 100 trees. So this whole area used to be, you could see the grass and stuff, and now it looks a lot nicer. So this actually isn't the dark forest. This is my little part of the nether, and right now it looks pretty bad. It's just some dugout areas, but eventually we have about, I think, 6 more portals to place around our base area, and once we get all that stuff established, then we're going to come in here and design something really cool. But a few episodes ago, we were working on the Gurkha villager tower, and we had to move some villagers over. We set up a villager breeder, and I just wanted to show real quick that we have 16 of these guys ready to go for a future iron farm project, so that's pretty cool. But anyway, just trying to kill some time because, oh, and there's another guy too, just hanging out. But anyway, I kind of need, what else? Oh, there's another portal down here. Right now I really only have 3 portals. There's one over there that goes to the island mob floating, what do you call it? Floating mob island. I don't know what we're going to call it. Mob island. Anyway, so that goes there, and then you might have saw there's a portal. Well, you probably can't see it. Is this? Oh no! I'm sorry, dude. Alright, let me get back there real quick. There we go. So you can see here, there's a portal back here too. And whenever we get to the Gurkha villager tower, I'll show you exactly where that portal leads to as well. Basically, it's an easy way to transport villagers. So we'll get to that here in a little bit. But anyway, this is the portal that goes to the dark forest. So this is the main portal entrance. And eventually we'll get this place decorated up real nice. But I was hoping to wait until nighttime before I started this little part of the tour, but I think we're going to go ahead and get started anyway. But this is what we have so far of the dark forest. Now, the dark forest is a custom biome, so the goal is to make something that is unlike anything generated in Minecraft naturally, and something that is, it's meant to be like a really kind of thick, overgrown forest with all kinds of plant life, different kinds of plant life, and just I don't know, lots of stuff to see, lots of stuff going on. And so this is kind of the start of it. Whenever we first came in, this was after we had built the walls, which we'll see in here in a couple minutes. But anyway, we built the path. I wanted to start with a nature walk, so when you walk in, you have this really pretty nature walk going through the dark forest, and it kind of curves around and goes up to the main base entrance. And so it's a combination of things. It's a lot of custom trees, and it's also some areas that you can kind of venture off and explore. Like, for example, this is slightly off the path, but it is the first, I want to say this was the first pond that we made, and so it's just really pretty with lots of stuff to look at, and it's a little bit of an opening, whereas most of the pathway is very kind of claustrophobic and stuff like that. There's a canopy over top. So anyway, we'll continue walking down the path here. I'm going to walk very slowly because this kills my frame rate walking through here. But anyway, so we have this really nice bridge. This river was man-made, so this wasn't actually here before. And there's a little area up there. Now that floating island is naturally generated. I did add a few blocks to the underside of it just to make it look a little bit nicer. But let's hike up here real quick, a little bit off the beaten path again. And I just broke some chests over here, so don't mind these things. They're going to despawn very soon. But so this was in another, actually the same episode where we made the first pond. We made this one as well. And if you'd like to know more about how to do this kind of landscaping, then feel free to check out my new series. I just started a new series requested by one of my subs called Minecraft Landscaping Fast. The first episode, actually there should be 2 episodes out by the time you see this, and so eventually right now we're just doing like custom trees and then some flower stuff, but eventually we're going to get to doing things like making ponds and rivers and doing stuff like that. So but this floating island, as plain as it is, it's kind of important because that's where I kind of got the idea. Well, that and watching Sword Art Online the first season kind of gave me the idea to make floating islands another part of the custom biome. So man, I apologize for how choppy this looks, guys. I'm thinking of getting rid of all the vines on the trees. That's meant to make it look kind of like moss growing up the trees, but I think it kills my frame rate for one, and for two, there's so much green. I kind of almost think it looks better like this. So maybe let me know what you think, because you're about to see a lot of trees that don't have the vines, and I kind of think it looks better that way. But anyway, so the pathway continues. We're going along here, and yeah, not as much. It's not finished. This is one of those kind of really big things I have to work on a little bit at a time. So you'll see, like this part of the pathway, we have trees. Most of them have been customized, not all of them have been. The trees in the background haven't been. But we don't actually get more landscaping until we get over here. I might get rid of the mushrooms too, because they just grow like crazy, absolute crazy. But anyway, yeah, the forest is definitely coming along really well, because now there's all kinds of things in the background. It's not just like 2 aisles of trees and then nothing. There's actually stuff to look at in the background now, which is pretty cool. And we will come back out here in a couple of minutes, because as you can see, there's now a pathway leading off this way, and it leads over to a where we collect our mob drops and stuff. But for right now, this is the main gate. We just did this in the last episode. We had sort of this entrance for a long time, but now we have this more grand gate-like entrance. And guys, this is, I think, a really cool base entrance. Let's check the connection real quick. I think what I might do is try and relog, because this won't be quite as fun if we don't get a full connection. So I'll be right back. Alright, I think I've got stuff sorted out. Hopefully this sometimes is really cool and sometimes a little bit derpy, so we'll see. First of all, this is a piston door 4x4 designed by Redstone with Malt, and so I posted a link to that in the last episode to his tutorial. But anyway, I did, based on some advice from one of my subscribers, Tritific. He has a channel. If you're a younger player, you might enjoy his channel. But he kind of explained a way that I could get rid of some of the delay. So now this door is pretty fast. Awesome. And oh yeah, baby. That is an epic base entrance. So that Note Block song was by 50 Cent, PIMP, and then we've got fireworks that go off, and we're going to change the fireworks show. In fact, I'm going to disable it here in a minute, because we should be down to 54 rockets per dispenser, but there are 24 dispensers in the wall, and they kind of go off, like they go off in this direction, and at the same time they go off in this direction. And the idea was that you'd have fireworks shooting off all over the city in a big circle, and it would just, you know, everywhere you looked there would be some fireworks going off. But as you could see, you only really get to see a few of the fireworks, and then they go out of render distance. So somewhere right over there, they kind of go out of distance. Now the dispensers work, everything works, the redstone works, I've checked, and they're definitely dispensing rockets. But let's take a look down here real quick. This is what we did in the last episode, and trying to make an epic base entrance sequence. I stumble over my words there sometimes. But anyway, so this is the note block song right here. This is how it all got worked out. So you have like a click track, and then I think this is the click track, and then you have bass drum, snare drum, bass guitar, melody, and harmony. So it's a lot of stuff, even though it's a short little snippet. Over here we've got the piston door, which is really hard to see, but you can kind of see it's a real thin design, too wide, which is pretty cool. And these are the pressure plates where you walk in on the inside. We have an input from on the other side of these pistons as well. And basically the redstone branches off. So on the one hand, on this side, it connects over to the note block music, and on the other hand, it goes off in either direction. And you can't really see it. Yeah, around the corner there, where that redstone is going, there is a daylight sensor, and so whenever that daylight sensor, it's inverted, so it's more like a nighttime sensor. So it comes over here, powers this block, which deactivates this torch, and yeah, this torch is activated right now, but whenever we hit the pressure plate over there, that sends another signal to deactivate this torch, which deactivates the redstone and activates this torch, which then sends a signal off to the fireworks show. So that's kind of how that works. But we're going to have to change the fireworks show and move it so that we can get all of the dispensers that we use, get them all in render distance. So anyway, that's the epic base entrance, and it was a big 3-part thing. The door, of course, I'm not even counting this, but we had to redesign this, add that to the top. But the door, the music, the fireworks show is a whole big thing. So anyway, let's continue on with our base entrance now. Let me see what's next on our stop. I guess I could show you guys this real quick. Once I got the jungle kind of torn down, or as I was tearing it down, let me go sleep, I guess. We'll get rid of some of these mobs that are spawning somewhere. I don't know where. The area is pretty lit up now. Oh, I hear you. Come here. There you go. Oh, he got me. Alright. Awesome. I don't really have water anywhere. Oh, well. Okay, perfect. So, anyway, so as we were we had to do 2 things. One was we chopped down just, I don't know how many jungle giants. So many jungle giants. And at the same time, once we got that done, I started working on flattening this area, which partially was some landscaping and partially was just adding dirt blocks on top of what was already there. Like in a lot of places, if you dig down, you'll fall down to the original terrain and stuff like that. But anyway, so this is my chest situation for now. This is where I can have things stored. I started running out of room with this little setup, so I've been gradually adding chests behind it as well. And pretty soon, like in the next couple of episodes, I think we're going to finally get all of this stuff moved out of the open and into a proper chest room, which is cool. I also needed to set up a really good food supply. So we have this automatic chicken farm. I want to say the first one was designed by Asumavoid, and then it was improved by someone else. I can't remember who. But this is a double chest here, and this keeps us absolutely, it looks like it's already full again. So I can't even keep up with this thing. You can also just farm eggs if you want to. Right now I have it set to chicken. You can do raw chicken, you can do cooked chicken, which I did for a while, but it doesn't work as well. So I just cook it up in the furnaces. But anyway, let's get on to the next part of our base, which is going to be the central plaza. So once we got everything flattened out, then I think the next thing we did was to build the walls and to build the roads. And so the roads are made out of sandstone and nether brick, because I like to build with blocks that can be a little bit hard to get a hold of sometimes, or are kind of a pain in the butt to farm, just to make us look really rich and baller and stuff like that, I guess you could say. So anyway, this is the central plaza, and it was one of the earlier things that we built, and it's just meant to be a pretty looking, cross section for the 2 main roads that go through our city. Over time, by the way, we're going to be adding a lot of towers. I want to say, I did the math earlier, we've got about 10 more towers to add, so this thing's going to get pretty cool eventually. But the central plaza, not only does it look pretty, but it's also going to get functional starting in the next episode. So we're going to be starting, another reason I thought this would be a great time to do a base tour is because in the next episode we're going to be starting the final major component for the base, which is going to be the underground, the secret hidden underground part of the base. And the way you get to that is actually through a trap door that's going to be located right here. So I've been kind of keeping that a secret for a while, but that's going to be a really cool thing that we're going to get started on next episode. So that's kind of the central plaza, and it's meant to sort of mimic the Dark Forest a little bit, but with thinner trees and just a little bit of plant life, just something pretty for the center of town. So let's see what's next on our list. Okay, so next up on our list is the Pumpkin and Melon Twin Towers. This was the first major farm that I made, and it was the second major structure after the observation tower. And yeah, I think they turned out pretty cool, and they're a little, I don't know, gothic because of the coal blocks and the green and the orange and stuff like that. Kind of looks a little Halloween-y. Nightmare Before Christmas or something like that. But anyway, so you just walk down here and you can collect up however many pumpkins you need. This is what we're up to right now. Oh man, alright, it's taken a really long time, but we are almost at the 6 double chest mark of pumpkins. Now for melons, it's a totally different story. I want to say we're probably all full up on melons, and in fact I had to come in here, and I don't usually do, well, I've never had massive, like, overpowered farms before until StreamCraft, and so I never had to do things like have a bunch of chests for one farm and then have a disposal system. So one of the things I did off camera in between, I don't know, some episodes was insert disposal system. So now I don't have a way to turn this farm off short of breaking everything. So basically, once I think this chest is full up, then the melons get dispensed right behind here and into a cactus, so that automatically destroys them and keeps the entities from becoming a problem. And the same thing will happen with the pumpkins. Once that gets all filled up, then they'll just get broken right there. And this crafting table actually serves a purpose. If I weren't full on stuff right now, I could basically, if I want to, I can come in here and then get, you know, a whole row of melons and then just go into the crafting table, drop them all right here, and make a stack of actual melons. So anyway, so that's a pretty cool thing. So we're right outside the base here. This is, as you walk into the city, this is on the off to the right is kind of where that road leads to. You can see our floating mob island in the background there. And I haven't put in a pathway leading up to the tree farms yet because I'm saving that for an episode of Minecraft Landscaping Fast. We're going to do an episode where we talk about how to some different ways to do pathways and stuff like that. So I figured, you know, that's one of the cool things about doing that that little series, is that it gives me an opportunity. Some of the stuff that I'd normally do in between episodes I can do for landscaping tutorials, so that's kind of cool. But anyway, here is the OP tree farm area. We actually have 3 tree farms in one. I can't remember if I said that or not. So yeah, as you walk in over here, you've got the underground tree farms. We've got a couple of those. Those are the overpowered ones, so to speak. And then we've got sort of the more normal tree farm. I wish I had a lot more room for these kinds of things, just so I could have tons and tons of them. But we have 3 sets of these things right here. So right now, 2 of them are for acacia. 1 is for the birch wood. And then the other ones I can actually farm. The oak wood farm is down here. We'll check that out in a second. And then we've got this one over here. Oh, wait. Well, I have my axe with me, but I have a full inventory. Man, I was just over the chest area. I should have put some of that stuff up. What can I get rid of? The seeds, for sure, I don't need. I don't really need any more poppies. I'll just get rid of those. I've got tons. And that should give us some room here. Let's go harvest. Just for funsies, we'll go and harvest this stuff. So the cool thing about this staircase is basically this is a giant hole in the ground, but it's meant to be for jungle trees and dark oak trees and spruce trees. So you can just hop up here, hop directly up to the top of the tree, no staircasing required, and just get to work, you know. And it just makes harvesting these super fast. I mean, this is pretty cool, I would say. And I tell you what, I'm really glad. I really love spruce wood, so I'm glad that they added these giant spruce trees. It makes getting lots of spruce wood really quick. So anyway, it looks like we're getting pretty close to the bottom here. So let's see what else has been going on. Work just started up again. I just finished the first week back at my job. That's going really good. Very excited about that. I'm a band director, and I think my band this year, the one that I teach, is going to be they're going to do really well. So anyway, all these hoppers here, they're all basically pointing into this little chest. So anything that I didn't happen to pick up, like right there, barely a stack that time, but then we can pick that up as well if we want to. We've got tons of bone meal in here in case I ever do want to bone meal stuff. And this will pick up any saplings. Like those saplings are going to fall down, but we're going to leave that. And then I'm just going to replant these things real quick. So, oh, there we go. And then we can just leave. So it's kind of like either way, like I can just let this, it's exposed to the sky, so I can plant something and then leave, and then whenever I'm ready I can come back and harvest it. Or I've got some bone meal there, so if I'm kind of in a hurry and I need a lot of a certain kind of log in a hurry, yeah, I can do that. So anyway, let's head on over here real quick. This is just a little hatch to get down to the Oakwood farm. And this one is designed by Mumbo Jumbo, and so it's one of those automatic, well, semi-automatic. So the first thing is we come over here, and let's say I'll just do like a sapling here. Let me go ahead and just get one. Well, whatever. Alright, so we flick this on. This is going to be quite loud. But yeah, so now, oh, well, I have my particles turned down. Let me go ahead and fix that real quick. Let's do decreased. So now you can see what's going on. We've got some bone meal that's coming out of there. It's not actually being used right now. Like if we look in here, none of the bone meal is being used. But if I plant a sapling, it's going to bone meal it, grow it, pistons push it along, and we're ready for the next one. So we could just do that, and we could basically, I can't remember what I worked out, but I think the maximum that you can fit into this area over here that I'm about to show you, I don't know what to call it, but I think it's like 2 stacks and 25 or something like that. You can fit a ton of them in here. So anyway, so what happens is the logs get pushed out to here, this piston pushes them along down this wall, and then this wall of pistons pushes them out this way, and then these pistons push it back out that way. And what you end up getting here is you get a giant square of oak logs that you can just grab your efficiency 5 axe and just chop down in a matter of like a minute or something. So I think I worked out you get about a stack per minute that you work this thing total. That's including the time to grow it and the time to chop it down. You get about a stack or maybe a little bit more, and you get plenty of saplings back too. So it's an expensive tree farm to make, but it is a really good tree farm. Like, that's so much faster to get 10 stacks of oak wood, so much faster than just going out into a forest and doing that. So anyway, that's about it for the tree farms. The only other thing, and it's hardly a thing at all, is that we store all of the saplings over here. So I've got all 6 sapling types, and I really need to come out here and extend the forest at some point. So the dark forest is going to extend out here, and it'll be surrounded by the forest. So that'll be a really cool thing. It'll look a lot nicer once we get to that point. And I kind of might keep this area somewhat cleared out, or maybe just make this another one of those areas where you can kind of go off and explore like I was showing you earlier, over by the portal, the nether portal, to get in. But I really like this view, so I kind of want to do something with that in the future. But anyway, so those are the OP tree farms, and they're very handy indeed. So we're going to go ahead and head back into the city here and take a look at some of our other towers. So what we're looking at here is the Gurkha Villager Tower, and it is this is all kinds of things in one. It's got like 4 components to it. So I'm going to show you a couple of components basically on my spectator camera account real quick, and then we will hop back over here and I'll show you the stuff at ground level. Alright, so we're just going to work our way from the top down. What you're looking at right here is a villager breeding cell. Now the cell is currently turned off because the way that these farms work, it's all based off of villager AI. All of these farms are fully automatic. It's basically fully automatic crop farms, and so one of the things about villager AI is that they have to be within 36 blocks of the farm itself, or I should say of the village itself. So right now you'll see there aren't any doors up here where the villager is, who basically creates the village. That's because if I have that turned on, that's that basically causes problems with the lowest farm that I'll show you here in a second. But if ever I want to breed some villagers, I can just pop these doors back in, and the villagers will fall down to our villager trading area. So moving on down here, we have two wheat farms, two fully automatic wheat farms that are villager powered. And so basically what this guy does is he just walks around and breaks the wheat, and his inventory is full. His inventory is full of seeds, so he can't pick up any of the wheat. And then what happens is we have the minecart hoppers that are traveling underneath the tilled soil. They pick up the wheat and then unload them at a certain point. And basically we have some hoppers that feed down into a chute. I'm not sure how else to describe it, but anyway, the hoppers feed into a dispenser that shoots the wheat into sort of a central channel whereby they get filtered down to the storage area. So underneath our wheat farms, then we have the fully automatic carrot and potato farms. This is a really cool farm design. I'm trying to remember the name of the guy that did that. He's a super cool guy. And what I'll do is I'll have to go back and double check that if I can't remember real quick, and I'll throw his name up on the screen, and so that way you guys can go check out his channel. But he puts out some really, really smart Minecraft contraptions, and this is just one of the most overpowered farms that I've ever seen. So anyway, those are the farms. So we got the villager breeder cell on top, we have two wheat farms, we have a fully automatic carrot farm, potato farm, and I never have to plant a crop ever again if I don't want to. So let's head back into my regular account, and then we'll check out the other parts of this tower. Holy smokes, guys, we are already out of time for this episode. I'm really sorry to cut it off so suddenly like that, especially when we still had a couple more things to check out over at the Gurkha Villager Tower over there, but this episode would have ended up being stupid long. I still had about another 20 or so minutes worth of footage that I'd recorded. So what we're going to have to do is we're going to make this base tour episode a two-part episode. So we'll be doing that next time, guys, and I may try and get that episode out a bit faster just because I already have the footage for it. And that way next week we could potentially start on the underground part of the base, which will be a huge episode, but my playing time is going to be cut into about 30% of what it normally is this weekend. So chances are we might just go ahead and put out part 2 of the base tour next week, and we'll still have Minecraft Landscaping Fast this Sunday, so that'll still be out for you to watch. Yeah, but that way, that'll give me a little bit. If I push it back and just do StreamCraft next Thursday for part 2 of Base Tour, that'll be good, because the next part of what we're doing, the underground part of the base that you get to through the Central Plaza, that's kind of a really epic, big project. So I'm really looking forward to it, and I don't want to rush it just for a lack of time. But the next episode should be cool, guys, so hopefully you'll be around to check it out. We still have to check out the floating mob tower over there, finish touring the Gurkha Villager Tower, and also the observation tower as well. And if you would, guys, help me come up with a name for this base. So far, the only name that I've gotten was Oasis, which is a pretty cool name, actually. The more I think about it, the more I kind of like it. But if you have any other suggestions, or if you like Oasis, just say, hey, Oasis is a pretty cool base name. Or if you have any other ideas, let me know. And one more thing, too, before I go. I wanted to answer a question from a comment on the last video from Chewy Plays. Chewy's got a channel, YouTube channel. He's a StreamCrafter, but he mostly likes to do mods and things like that. So if you're into mods, you might enjoy his channel. But he was like, my goodness, Coop, how do you have the time and the patience for all this? And, you know, the biggest thing that I say to that is that I just enjoy playing the game. And it really doesn't matter to me what I'm doing while I play the game, you know? So, like, really long-term projects don't really bother me because, you know, I mean, I'm going to be playing the game anyway. So it's kind of like however you spend your time playing, as long as you're having a good time, you know. I mean, the whole game is breaking blocks, placing blocks, and making stuff with those blocks. So, you know, if I'm placing blocks, maybe it's just a bunch of grass blocks in a straight line, or maybe it's something really cool that I have to plan out, like one of these towers over here. But yeah, oh, I think we still have to check out the sugarcane tower too. So yeah, we got a few things left to check out next episode. Hopefully you guys are interested in that and you'll come around and check that out. But anyway, guys, that is unfortunately all the time that we have for this week's episode. So I hope that you enjoyed it. If you did, please hit the like button. It definitely helps me out. And if you're new to the series, please subscribe so you can follow along as we continue to build this epic base. And yeah, anyway, guys, I hope that you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. And until next time, may you be happy, may you be well, and take care. I'll see you later.